Once upon a time in a faraway kingdom there lived a little dog. His tail was as bushy as a bottle brush and his ears were as droopy as, well, a pair of droopy ears. He was the laziest dog in the whole wide world. All he cared about was eating, sleeping and chasing butterflies. Oh, and did I mention that he loved bones? He simply couldn't get enough of them. One day, as he was lazing around in the garden, he saw a big juicy bone on the ground. It was bigger than any bone he had ever seen before. He quickly grabbed it in his mouth and ran to his favorite hiding spot under the big oak tree. No one would ever find him there. At least that's what he thought. A little girl who lived in the house saw the dog carrying the bone. She went to the window and asked, "What's in your mouth, little dog? What's in your mouth?" The dog just kept quiet and ran away. "Oh, he has a bone," the little girl told her mother. "Can we go see it, please, please, please?" But the mother said, "No, no, no, that bone is for the dog. He found it and so he can keep it." The little girl went back to her room, but she couldn't stop thinking about the dog and his bone. So she went back to the window and peeked out. "Hey, doggy," she called out. "If you bring me that bone, I will give you something even better." The dog sobbed for a moment. Something better than a bone. What could it be? The dog had never received anything better than a bone before, so he decided to take the bait. He dropped the bone near the window and the little girl quickly picked it up and shut the window. The dog waited patiently for his reward, but the little girl didn't come back. Instead, a big gray cat sauntered by. The dog quickly grabbed his bone and ran away as fast as he could. He looked around for another hiding spot, but he couldn't find one. Then he had a brilliant idea. He would hide in the house. After all, he had been a good little dog for many years and the family had never stopped him from coming inside. He quietly opened the back door and slipped inside. He could still hear the little girl calling, "Fetch, doggy, fetch!" But he just kept walking. He walked past the dining table, the sofa, the chairs, until he reached the kitchen. There on the counter was a big bowl filled with milk. He couldn't resist. He jumped on the counter and lapped up the milk. It was cold and creamy and sweet. It was the best thing he had ever tasted. Then he heard the little girl coming. She opened the door and said, "There you are, doggy. You brought back my bone, didn't you? Well, here is your reward." She put a smaller bone in the big bowl and closed the door. The dog couldn't believe his eyes. It wasn't just one bone. It was a whole bunch of bones. He quickly grabbed one and started chewing. It was the best day of his life. From that day on, the dog still chased butterflies and caught bugs. But whenever the little girl came by, he brought her his biggest bone, and she always gave him something even better. The end.